These two people in this picture are a couple, and apparently she left her job so that she could breastfeed him regularly. Now, this picture has been doing the rounds on social media again after going viral back in 2016. This kind of dynamic is quite niche. Now, you might be raising an eyebrow thinking, well, that's just not how relationships are supposed to function. But for some, this is absolutely part of their dynamic, and in this case, there is definitely a sexual element to it. I mean, the woman even said herself in one of the interviews that most of the times that she breastfeeds him, it leads to sex. So I want to be real about this. Adult breastfeeding can sit anywhere on the spectrum. It can be seen as a kink, as a fetish, or it could be considered as not sexual at all. It all depends on the context. So if it's part of intimacy, but sits alongside other intimate acts rather than replacing them, then it's likely to be a kink. The key here is it's not the only source of arousal. However, if it's the primary and necessary source of sexual arousal, where the focus is specifically on the breasts and lactation, then we're moving into fetish territory. But as I also said, it's not always sexual. For some people, it's about being nurtured, being held, and being able to regulate emotions through closeness. And it can actually be about both, emotional and sexual, comfort and pleasure, layered. Now, here's the thing. Social media clickbait is real. They are designed to shock. They are designed to make people be like, oh my gosh, could you imagine? But let's not act like this is completely disconnected from what already happens in a lot of heterosexual relationships, because a lot of men enjoy breasts during sex. At a basic level, breasts are a secondary sexual characteristic, so they're naturally tied to attraction and arousal. They're sensitive, they respond to touch, and they're part of the overall sensory experience of sex. There's also a learned element. From early on, men are socialized to associate breasts with desire and femininity, and that ideology gets reinforced through culture and the media over time. And then there's also the emotional layer for hetero men. Closeness to the chest can feel very intimate, and it can also create comfort, grounding, and connection. For some, there might even be deeper psychological links, like associations with nurturing and attachment, but that's a whole different video. Now, for me, when I see this, my eyebrows raise differently. I'm not just thinking, what is this? I'm actually thinking, what need is this whole thing meeting? It makes me think about the line between intimacy and dependency. Is this deep connection, or is it compensating for something else? And that's the part I think is worth exploring. But of course, it's social media and it's not that deep. I mean, who wants to talk about what's going on behind what we're seeing? And plus, it's just easier to label something as weird. But honestly, a lot of the time when things that might appear strange crop up, it's often unmet needs in disguise. So again, the real question for me becomes, is this connecting or is this overcompensating? And look, I'm not trying to overthink anything. People enjoy breasts in sex. That's nothing new. And actually, it can be quite a bit of fun. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to add a little bit of psychological spice to the conversation.